A Promised Land. Page 15. What great contest was I preparing for? Whatever it was, I knew I wasn't ready. That uncertainty, that self-doubt, kept me from settling too quickly on easy answers. I got into the habit of questioning my own assumptions, and this, I think, ultimately came in handy, not only because it prevented me from becoming insufferable, but because it inoculated me against the revolutionary formulas embraced by a lot of people on the left at the dawn of the Reagan era. Certainly that was true when it came to questions of race. I experienced my fair share of racial slights and could see all too well the enduring legacy of slavery and Jim Crow anytime I walked through Harlem or parts of the Bronx. But by dint of biography, I learned not to claim my own victimhood too readily and resisted the notion held by some of the black folks I knew that white people were irredeemably racist. The conviction that racism wasn't inevitable may also explain my willingness to defend the American idea, what the country was, and what it could become. My mother and grandparents had never been noisy in their patriotism, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in class. Waving small flags on the 4th of July, these were treated as pleasant rituals, not sacred duties. Their attitudes toward Easter and Christmas were pretty much the same. Even Gramps' service in World War II was downplayed. He told me more about eating K rations, terrible, than he ever told me about the glory of marching in Patton's army. And yet, the pride in being American, the notion that America was the greatest country on earth, that was always a given. As a young man, I chafed against books that dismissed the notion of American exceptionalism. Got into long, drawn-out arguments with friends who insisted the American hegemon was the root of oppression worldwide. I had lived overseas. I knew too much. That America fell perpetually short of its ideals, I readily conceded. The version of American history taught in schools, with slavery glossed over and the slaughter of Native Americans all but omitted that, I did not defend. The blundering exercise of military power, the rapaciousness of multinationals. Yeah, I got all that. But the idea of America, the promise of America, this I clung to with a stubbornness that surprised even me. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That was my America. The America Tocqueville wrote about, the countryside of Whitman and Thoreau, with no person my inferior or my better. The America of pioneers heading west in search of a better life or immigrants, landing on Ellis Island, propelled by a yearning for freedom. That's the end of page 15. Please press the next button, or press the next end screen at the right side of the screen for page 16. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.